I'm not going to equate cell phones with cigarettes, but they are kind of evil because within seconds of my bad dad joke, apparently somebody who works with me is out in the audience. So now all of my colleagues have a photo of me on their Slack channel saying Mark and his terrible dad jokes, okay? So that rates it to be close to evil. So far we've explored kind of talking about design, the intricacies of product development, and now we're going to talk about the amazing people who not only bring these things to life, but how do they, on a foundational basis, create that strategic relationship between product and the people that drive the real success in an organization. So we're going to unpack this. It's a crucial dynamic, and I don't think there's going to be any bank bashing based on who our next speakers are. So please join me in welcoming to the stage Licenia Rojas, who's the Chief Engineer Architect at TD Bank, and also the VP of Software and Engineering Practice Owner at TD. Oh, sorry, it says Brent Foster, but it's actually Bud Lamb, so come on out.
TD must be in the house. Over 2,500 patents filed by over 1,000 inventors. 2 Gen AI virtual assistant solutions to support engineers and contact center employees. An immersive virtual reality program to enhance customer service training. An accessibility browser plugin to personalize online experiences available to all for free. These may sound like innovations you'd expect from a tech giant. But what if I told you that this is just a handful of tech initiatives we've been launching at TD Bank? I'm proud to say that we stand out as an organization with an innovative approach to integrating cutting-edge solutions to our operations. We seek to streamline customer experiences and position ourselves as a key destination for key top tech talent in the industry. As the Chief Engineer and Chief Architect at TD, I have this honor of leading these transformations and designing the best way to bring them to life at TD. We keep humans at the center of our focus when we're innovating. Our engineers are key players in bringing people and technology together and making sure that all tech serves all of our customers and colleagues' needs. When I first joined TD, I put on my engineering cap and I embarked on a listening tour to get out and learn the lay of the land. I visited branches, call centers, I met with leaders, engineers, to truly understand where we were and where we needed to go. We needed a North Star that would drive this innovation for our customers and colleagues while scaling what was already in motion at TD. So I crafted an engineering strategy which was based on 4 key focus areas. People that know me know I like to name things, so I call it the Core 4. Starting with core business capabilities. We're accelerating investments in things like data quality, identity access management, to safeguard our customers and enhance data literacy among our colleagues. Next is building foundational technology capabilities. These are critical to the success of our engineering strategy. It's table stakes. We need to have a strong technology foundation to ensure that we're adaptable in emerging changes over time. Investments in cloud, generative AI, DevSecOps are all examples of where our focus is. As an example of this investment, TD launched a pilot for GitHub Copilot. This is a generative AI virtual assistant developed by Microsoft. GitHub Copilot assists engineers by analyzing their code and providing suggestions on how to complete it. This enables TD engineers to accelerate code development, and with this extra time, our engineers can focus on upskilling. In a survey, we found over half of our engineers said GitHub Copilot could save them up to 20 hours over a 2-week sprint. So this is an important foundational capability that we have. Next is operational excellence. Operational excellence is super important to us because it's about streamlining our capabilities, ensuring resiliency, simplifying our technology ecosystems, and measuring our progress against external benchmarks. It's critical to understand where you are and make sure you're making progress at the right pace. And last but not least is invest in talent. This is the final piece of the core 4. I believe the most important in many ways is investing in your talent. We emphasize the skilling and reskilling of our engineers by investing in opportunities so they can advance our as our strategy does. From access to thousands of topics, such as prompt engineering, machine learning, to an actual really fun annual tech conference that we host internally for over 7,500 technologists. We're constantly making our engineers' aptitude a priority. You've heard now about the core 4. It's a solid strategy. But at the end, what's the question? What about execution? So I'm excited to bring onto the stage with me one of our amazing software engineers, Bud Lamb. He's going to join me. Yes, Bud's awesome. To talk about specific products that we've enabled. We met Bud through Coding for Veterans. He was an instructor there, and he's a shining example of how we bring our talent strategy into action. So, with no further ado, I'll bring up Bud, and we're going to play a little video of the product he built.
Development tools? Frustrated by outdated software? Well, say hello to Winix 1.1. Introducing the future of coding wrapped into a retro package. Let's dive into the features that'll make your developer heart skip a beat. Harness the power of your GPU like never before. Winix 1.1 lets you pass through the power of your GPU and unlock next-level performance. Calling all data wizards. Winix 1.1 speaks fluent CUDA. Your algorithms will run smoother than a breakdancing cyborg. Containers? Winix 1.1 makes Docker feel like a virtual playground. Spin up containers faster than you can say ping. Data scientists, rejoice! Jupyter Labs integration lets you explore data sets like a mad scientist. Plot graphs, analyze data, and sip your coffee all in one place. We've polished the pixels. Winix 1.1 boasts several user experience improvements that'll make your fingers dance. Goodbye clunky experiences. Get your floppy disks ready because Winix 1.1 is here. Download now and experience the nostalgia of the future.
That's so much fun. That's your voice, right?
It actually is, at least for now, until I can get AI to do it.
Oh my gosh. I love that video, and I love the retro vibe.
That was the idea behind it. It was the idea behind that was to have a 90s style infomercial because if we're going to do it with video, why not have fun with it, right?
Yeah, hence the pants I'm wearing today.
Yeah,
I wanted to bring
absolutely.
90s vibe to your video. So, but that's just a teaser of what you've done with Winix 1.1. Your team worked and launched this product over a year ago, and it was really focused around how we're going to help our engineers develop high-quality software. So, talk to me a little bit about Winix, what it's all about, what did we build?
Well, Well, being part of the developer experience team at TD, like, it's my goal to help other engineers stay in the flow state as long as possible. And being in the flow state is actually really important because that's the state where we're basically the most productive. And every small thing, whether it's context switching or just fighting with our tools, takes us out of that. And getting back into that flow state is hard. So, and Weenix helps us accomplish that by taking care of the inner loop. And the way I like to look at it is, like, typically with when people visualize DevOps, they kind of see it as like a figure eight or an infinity symbol with dev on the left and ops on the right. But I like to look at it as an inner and outer loop, whereas our outer loop is our CI/CD pipeline, which delivers our products and services to our customers. But inside, there's an inner loop where we can iterate much quicker, kind of like an inside gear in a watch per se. And this is where Weenix sits, actually. What we ended up doing to pull that off was leveraging on Microsoft's Windows subsystem for Linux and pairing it with Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and to deliver our engineers a development environment that very much replicates our deployment environment.
Yeah, I mean, I think you covered it. Like, I mean, that's just been like the amazing item around really enabling them to be able to do more and like in a quality way. So what have been some of the gains that you've seen from Weenix?
The gains have actually been quite amazing, actually. Actually, as of yesterday, actually they pulled up the most up-to-date stats, and as of yesterday, we've surpassed 2,100 users. And by making development easy and enabling our engineers by providing them tools and capabilities that not just enable, but also like don't hinder them in any way. So the friction has been removed, and by doing so, we've just become a lot more productive, and allows us to deploy and test our code early on in the stage to effectively do what in the industry calls making the shift left.
Yes, and it's so powerful what it does in terms of enabling people. And I love how you had the engineers at the center of this whole process. So we build these products, they're from a tech foundational perspective, and we have other products that we create that build off of this. So recently we launched partial shares, and super exciting for us here at TD. So why don't you tell me a little bit about what it is and why it's such a big deal?
I mean, the partial shares is actually this like amazing new new product that we just released. And what's amazing about that is that much like what the name implies, it allows customers to purchase a partial share. So if there's a particular high value stock that someone wants to invest in, say it's like $1,000, and they can't afford that, normally they would be barred from entering from actually investing. But if they can put in $200 towards $1,000, like they can buy just $200 worth of that share. And what's amazing about it is that it really democratizes investing and just makes investing more accessible to everyone, regardless of what their financial status is.
It's a fascinating product, and it's great that we've provided that to our customers, again, with that focus around what our customers' needs are. In terms of how did you go about and the team thinking about solutioning this design? What were some of the things that you had to think about?
When it came down to solutioning, a lot of it focused around automation and around the sense of like automation around the ability for us to deploy code in our dev and test environments really quickly. And more importantly, it lets us do a lot of different tests and a lot of tests over and over. Namely, like one of the things that we had to do was test out fractional decimal places, and that's not something that the average person would think about that you would actually have to test. But when you're talking about a fraction of a share, there's a lot of digits after the dot that we have to factor in, and every time we make that change, we have to test things. And with an application like partial shares, we can't just test the application in isolation. We actually have to test it along with every downstream application that actually processes that partial share. And if anything, it really highlights our our strategy towards end-to-end ephemeral environments and containerization, because through this, we're able to spin up a whole environment, test everything, shut it down, and do it again once the change has been made.
Yes, and it was, we're always talking about this, the importance of that feedback loop coming a lot faster as well as you're iterating through products.
Absolutely.
It's just core to the engineering strategy. So that's amazing of that progress that we've made, and we brought it to life with our products. So how do we continue this, Bud? So what are the things that you're thinking about around how do we keep this going in terms of building more products this way?
I mean, the first thing that I can think of in terms of what we should continue doing is first, continue being agile and continue to adapt our strategy and our technical capabilities. But more importantly, also continue to keep our focus around the customer. So this way we can better understand their needs, and through that we're able to build the right product at the right time, and more importantly, the right way.
I love that. Right product at the right time and the right way. I mean, you summed it up. That's what it's all about.
Actually, I would love to, since I have the mic here, I'm gonna throw it back to you, actually.
Okay.
Because so given the theme here is powering people and products, I would love to know what your vision is for us to continue.
Yeah, I should have figured you were going to put me on the hot seat too here.
Might
I
as
love
well.
it. Well, I think you said it well, and I'll just have to reiterate. It's really as we put humans at the center. When you have that focus, it really helps you drive then the right outcomes. And when you have your outcomes then become the North Star. When you do that, I think it's really important to think about as technologists. It empowers you to really push boundaries and build products that are inclusive. As leaders, you have to invest in your people. And I say it again, invest in your people, prioritize their development, and clarify their career paths. And I think that's how we leave an impact.
I think you're right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I really want to thank you for joining me here today, Bud.
Thank you for having
I think
me.
this was awesome. We have fun all the time together.
Absolutely.
And I really want to thank you all for joining us here today. Hopefully you learned more about TD's technology and engineering strategy. And hopefully you have had a great Elevate. Thank you, everyone.